Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Noon News. I'm Victoria Hill, in for Samantha Sullivan. President Donald Trump is scheduled to touch down tonight in Missoula in his campaign appearance for Republican Senate hopeful Matt Rosendale. And it looks like the crowds are already gathering. Here are MTN's Mike Dennison and Jill Valley with more.
We are out at the Missoula County Airport, where already the line to get into the president's rally is over a mile long. There are a sea of red hats. A lot of people have their Make America Great hats. They brought lawn chairs. Somebody's playing the guitar. Kids are playing catch. It's kind of a festive atmosphere here. And part of the reason why some are so excited is because we haven't had a sitting president visit Missoula in over 64 years. So whether or not they're big fans of this administration or not, you cannot argue this is an event that will go down in Missoula history. And a lot of people want to be a part of that.
That's right. As you mentioned, it does have a festive atmosphere, but this is a political event. This is a campaign rally for the Republican candidate in the U.S. Senate race. Matt Rosendale is running against Democratic incumbent John Tester. This is one of the top races in the country that people are watching. There's been more than $40 million spent on the race so far. The third time the president's been here to promote Mr. Rosendale against Mr. Tester. We know the race is going to be close. I'm sure we'll hear what you heard before. The president will talk about the race itself and promote Mr. Rosendale. What I'm also going to be looking for today is whether he mentions the other race in Montana, the congressional race between Republican Congressman Greg Gianforte and Democratic challenger Kathleen Williams. Everyone thinks that, not everyone, but the conventional wisdom is that Gianforte is probably leading that race, but for the first time today, the National Republican Congressional Committee dropped some money into that race attacking Williams, which indicates to me it's probably a lot closer than people think.
We are expecting, some estimates are 8,000 people here, and just judging by the line that has lined up at noon for a 6:30 speech, that estimate is probably not that off. Now, parking has been a bit of an issue. They had to find some off-site parking that can accommodate around 5,000 cars, and then people will be shuttle bused into the arena. They also have porta potties, and so they're trying to accommodate these big crowds. I'm told that there are no hotel rooms available in Missoula, and the local economy has taken a pretty big financial boost with this because of so many people coming here for this rally. Again, people are going to be patient. They've got hours and hours to wait, but they're already in line to watch the president. Air Force One will be flying over Missoula a little bit after 6 o'clock tonight. At least that's what the last scheduled was. People are excited about that as well, because that is one pretty big airplane. We'll be here live throughout social media and tonight at 5:30, and then for when the president does start speaking at around 6:30 tonight here on your MTN stations.
And the rally will stream live on the CW starting at 6:30. And if you're not around a TV, check your local MTN website or the station's Facebook page, where we'll carry the same coverage. Turning to court news, the Bozeman man who pleaded guilty to killing his wife with a frying pan in January of 2017 has been sentenced to 105 years in the Montana State Prison. In January of 2017, Jake Collins initially told police he hadn't seen his wife Crystal since the two had a fight on New Year's Eve. Later, Collins admitted to striking his wife repeatedly in the head with a cast iron frying pan and then using a knife to cut her throat. Officers found Crystal's body in the bed of his truck, hidden inside a sleeping bag with bloodied pillows. The couple's children were at home during the attack. Meanwhile, a Great Falls House representative had an order of contempt filed against him earlier this year. MTN's Margaret DeMarco looks at why attending a closed court hearing got him in some trouble.
I attended a court hearing for a young gal that had 2 children in the Child Protective Services system.
Montana House District 25 Representative Jeremy Trebus attended this Youth in Care of Need hearing on February 22nd.
When I was in the courtroom, the judge had noticed me and asked me to identify myself.
According to court documents, Judge Elizabeth Best called Trebus forward so he could explain why he was in the closed hearing. Youth in Care and Need proceedings are closed due to the protection of the children involved.
She made a point to say that she was concerned about the separation of the executive and the legislative branch, and I think she thought I was interfering with that.
In the order, Judge Best wrote that Trebus stated he had already read the file, making it seem harmless that he was attending the hearing. Trebus did have permission to look at the file in this case.
I had seen her case file per a new law at the state level. in Helena at the Department of Health and Human Services.
The order states Trebus did not ask the court for permission to attend the hearing. Ultimately, Trebus admitted he knew he was violating the law and court order by sitting in on this proceeding.
I just wanted some firsthand knowledge of how the system is actually working, because you hear a lot of how it's working from judges and attorneys and the people involved in the foster parents and biological parents, but you never get firsthand knowledge.
Trebus said Judge Best informed him that if he would like to attend a youth and care in need hearing, all he would have to do is ask the judge.
I learned a lot from that experience, and that's what I'll do next time.
In Great Falls, Margaret DeMarco, MTN News.
And now it's time to check in with Ed over at the Weather Center. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's the 18th day of October, and it's the day that we get the latest update from the Climate Prediction Center on the winter outlook. It's the 18th of every month when they come out, and they're saying for the winter months, especially December, January, February, we're looking at a 50% chance of above normal temperatures across Montana, 40% chance across much of Wyoming and into the Dakotas, and that seems to be the story. Warmer than average temperatures dominating the western and northern portions of the state, with equal odds as we start looking into the southeast. Above normal precipitation, this is an El Nino influence. That means that through the southern part of the country you could see above normal precipitation, but for us it looks like things are going to trend towards a drier winter. We'll have more on the short-term details coming up in a few minutes.
On the campaign trail, actor Jeff Bridges paid a visit to Montana State University in Bozeman Wednesday. Bridges was there to endorse Montana Senator Jon Tester in the upcoming election. Bridges stressed the importance of voting in a state with just over 1 million people, pointing out that Tester won by only 3,000 votes in 2012.
A little upset that I can't vote myself. I am registered in California, but we've had a place here for over 40 years. And we've supported Jon Tester for 12 years now. And I just, man, I dig him. And when I see him on TV, his strength and his respect, he's respectfully strong. He works with, the other folks on the other side of the aisle. He knows how to do that. He's a third-generation farmer. He's the only farmer in the Senate.
Elsewhere, the Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks Commission has voted unanimously against a draft management plan for the Upper Missouri Reservoir System. The proposed 10-year management plan suggested strategies to achieve management goals, such as reducing the daily perch limit in Canyon Ferry to help foster the walleye population. The commission cited a lack of public input during the plan's development stage as its reason for not approving the draft. FWP representatives and members of the public agreed that public turnout for the early meetings was disappointing and needs to be improved in order to make the management plan work for everyone.
These management plans rely on public participation. As you saw today, it was pretty much universally recognized that there was not enough in development of this plan, and so that's why we're taking a step back to get that input.
Well, those more ahead on this Thursday edition of the New News.